So before we get started, I wanted to start here because in this course, we're going to be doing a lot of journaling. We're going to be circling back here to document feelings, discoveries, things that we've learned, things that we're struggling with. We're going to document that in in a journal. So what I have here is just a simple, really inexpensive composition book. Really inexpensive. You can get them at the dollar store, really. And I like using these, and I draw and I sketch in them. I love using them. You don't need to spend a lot of money, but if you really want a high-end journal, go right ahead. I know I am the type of person that is a visual. I'm visually stimulated. So journals, the look, the feel, the pen, even the writing tools that I use in a journal are really important. I've been enjoying this because I can create my own journal. We're going to create our own. We're going to make a cover for it. And I'll show you how I prepare the pages to take on any type of drawing or painting or writing or so forth. Okay, so again, you need just a simple composition book right here. And I've got a piece of watercolor paper. Now, I love using this. I have I use this all the time. This is the Canson watercolor paper. The size of it is 12 by 18. It's 140-pound weight. I love using this to create my own sketchbooks. I've done them in the past in other ways, but we're going to use this paper to create our cover for our journal for this class here. And I'm just going to rip out a page here. It's nice and sturdy. I like the Canson brand papers. I use the mixed media sketchbook for my sketchbook work. And it's just a really nice sturdy paper. It's not really cheaply made, but it just works. It works well for me. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to sketch. I'm going to open this up here. And I'm just going to take a pencil and I'm going to outline. Let me get it kind of centered in here. And I'm just going to outline just so I know. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want to know, so that if I have anything important that I want to draw or paint, that it ends up in here, basically. And so, we're going to end up folding this and wrapping it. It's not really that evenly spaced, but I'm okay with that. And I'm going to start painting inside this area. I can go on the outside if I want to, but I'm going to create my cover for my journal. Now, this is something that's important to you. This is the journal that you're going to be using throughout this class. It should feel, it should look, it should be beautiful, it should be amazing. It should be you. So I would take an intuitive stance to this. Don't spend thousands of hours, planning this out. I would just kind of grab your favorite tools and materials and just start creating. So that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to go grab 3 of my favorite colors. I'm going to be using acrylic and we're going to design our cover. All right, so I've got my paint. Let me talk about the paint that I have chosen. I just kind of intuitively went through my stash and chose just some paint here. I have some orange, I have white, I have a turquoise, and I have a violet, very dark violet color. I also have a fine liner here. And what we're going to do before we add color and fun and just play, we're going to set our intention. And I love doing this before I begin either a painting or a sketchbook spread. I like to set my intention. Now, this class is here for you to support you and guide you along your creative journey. Wherever you are, if you're just beginning, you're starting, you're in the middle, you've been doing it for a while, if you're just struggling to be able to create every day or just struggle with just being able to enjoy where you are within your creative process, this is what this class is all about. So I'm here to support you, and this journal here is here to support you and document this journey. So that's why we're here. So your cover is really important because it's defining you. It's the foundation to where your journey begins. So I like to set that intention. So think about that. Think about where you are. Think about where you want to be as a creative. Think about what guidance, what help, what do you want to tell yourself within this journey? And just write it down. And I'm just going to start in the middle, and I'm just going to do some free writing. I'm going to take about 5 minutes to just play and let go and release my intention and just beginning the introduction to the story that's going to happen here. And ask yourself a question. Where do you want this to take you? And then answer it. That's your intention. Ask a question. It could be anything. I'm going to ask myself, where do I want this journey to take me? I want me to the moon and back. I don't know. It could be anything. I mean, don't get caught up in what you need to say. Just say it. Just, whatever comes to mind, and just write it. So I'm going to keep going. I'm going to spend about 5 minutes, and I'm just going to fill this with words, with just me free writing. All right, so I filled my page with words, and I moved it around and just let go. And now I'm going to add some color here. And I'm just going to start, I don't know where I went. I'm just going to start with some orange, and I'm just going to go in and just add some bits of color, staying pretty intuitive here. This is just a background. I'm not worried about what and where. I'm keeping my, I can definitely go outside the lines. I'm not worried about that. I just did that guide, so I know if I do put anything of importance in this piece, I want it to stay within this kind of square here. And I'm just going in and just really just having fun here. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where this is going to take me. I'm starting just with one layer here, just intuitively grabbing color, seeing what happens. Just kind of working with both cool and warm, the coolness of the violet and the turquoise and the warmth of the orange. Just letting things happen here. I'll give this space and time to just be what it wants to be. I don't know where this is going to take me, and that's a good thing. We create with intention and just letting stuff happen here. And now I'm going to let this layer dry, and then I'll go in with another layer and still continue to play and have fun here. So I'm just going to let this dry, and then we'll go back in, add additional layers until we get it to the story, the beginning introduction story that we're looking for. All right, so this is nice and dry. Look at how much fun this is for my book here. But I wanted to do a little bit of collage. So I printed out just this black and white photo of some leaves. And let me get my scissors here. I'm just going to cut out just a rough, just kind of roughly cut this out. I'm not kind of going straight, just cutting it out perfectly. I'm kind of being rough about it, but I want to incorporate this because nature is just really an important piece of my work recently. Leaves, nature, just any type of organic material there. So I wanted to include that in my book here. Now, I'm going to understand here, just so before I start, making some decisions here, here's my book, right? And I just want to make sure that, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark, I'm just going to make a mark with a pencil. That's the front. This is the top. And this is the bottom. And I just took a pencil and just marked it just so I know what I'm doing, because I don't want to do something really special here. And then when I put my book together, it ends up someplace I don't want it to be. So knowing that, I do want a piece of that in the front here. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to collage it right here. I'm going to get my matte gel medium. Ooh, look at this. I love when this happens here. And where's my flat brush? Looking for my flat brush here. And I'm just going to add this to the page here. I'm just going to collage it. So I'm just kind of brushing the matte gel medium onto the page. Just making sure I get every area where this is going to be. Actually, it goes a little bit lower. And I'm just going to go here and collage that. Just making sure I don't want any bubbles or anything. So I'm trying to kind of collage it over here. If I do get bubbles, I can pull out my brayer or a credit card to flatten it as well. I'm just adding a layer of the matte gel medium over it, like so. I'm experimenting here, just having fun. This is my cover. This is where I'm just going to let go. And this is my theme for this journey that I'm taking here. So have fun here. Spend as much time as you need here. All right, I'm going to let this dry completely. Sometimes it takes a while. It's pretty humid here today, or it's kind of stuffy. So I'm going to let this dry completely, and then I'm going to do additional layers and really have some fun here. And then I'll show you how I put my book together. All right, so this is pretty dry. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take just a Sharpie, and I'm just going to outline some of the shapes that is pretty almost dry. Actually, it's still a little wet. And I'm just outlining some of the shapes here. It's actually still a little. Let me try my artist Pitt pen. This is working a little bit better here. And I'm just outlining my shapes. Just so they stand out a little bit more. Maybe even kind of taking it further off the page here to continue the shapes here. I know that this is just going to get folded over, but just playing here, just enjoying my process here. Just really kind of just experimenting with, what I have here. Even making my own leaves that kind of come outward, right? As well. Just kind of allowing things to just just create and just really enjoy the process here. And I'm just kind of taking it out, kind of following those same shapes that I traced from the photo, and just kind of continuing it on from there here. Like so. Ooh, so much fun. All right, so what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my palette back here. I'm going to get my, let me use this up. I got a brand new thing of gesso, but this one is all, but I'm just going to try to use this up. The top has gotten all yucky, but I'm going to clean this flat brush here, get all that matte gel medium out. And I'm just going to do a, just a light wash of the white gesso over this piece here. So I still want to see my, I still want to see what's underneath. I still want to see my outlines. But let me get some water on here. Ooh, let me dry it first because this is spreading a bit. That's why I wanted to use the Sharpie. Let me check again. I think it's fine now. Yeah, I just needed to dry it. Some of it's spreading. That's why I wanted to use the Sharpie so that some of my outline wouldn't spread. But okay, I'm gonna roll with it. Just gonna roll with it. I knew this is the Faber-Castell Artist Pitt pen, and you know, maybe I should just let it dry a bit. But I'm in the mood, so I'm going to keep going. It is spreading a little bit, and if I use the Sharpie, it wouldn't have spread with water. But I'm going to continue to roll with this, and I'm just kind of adding a wash over. And then I'll take some paper towel just to blot any puddles. Some of the marker spreading, but I actually like it. It's actually working. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this. And I'm going to try the Sharpie again. Actually, let me check I have a Posca paint pen. Well, I'm going to use the Posca paint pen. And I'm just going to re-outline some of my line shapes here. And I'm using my Posca paint pen. And I'm going to do some line work here. Some of it's still a little wet. So maybe I should just let this dry a bit. Ooh, look what I got here. See, things happen, and then I'm going to let this dry just a bit because I'm not getting the line that I want. So let me let this dry, and then we'll return, and I'm going to do some line work on here as well. But I just need this to dry really well. I'm getting a lot of dampness, and it's not giving me a nice clean line here. So I'm going to let this dry, maybe blow dry it a little bit more, and then I will return with some more work on my cover. All right, so I got this dry. I got a Sharpie that's going to work this time. And what I want to do is just outline re-outline my leaf shapes here. Like so here. And just so I can see it just a little bit better. And so forth here. Really? Okay. Oh, let me do. And then I'm just going to go back in because my Posca paint pen is pretty thin. And I'm just going to do some line work here. I'm going to sit here and just kind of doodle, I guess. Spend some time doodling. Just adding some line work. If you have any inspirational words to add to it, but just taking some time to just kind of relax. And just add some personal elements or things that are speaking to you at that moment to your piece here. It can be anything. It doesn't have to mean anything to anybody else. This is your journal. This is your journey. Have as much fun with this cover as you want. Create a personal message or personal statement that only has to really mean something to you. And I'm just kind of having some fun here, just doodling. I'm going to bring out my white Posca paint pen and see where this can take me. Will it show up? Ooh. And it does. Doesn't really like the gesso. Let me see how my white gel pen does with this. Actually, let me try. This one is dried up. Here we go. It's right in front of me. I'm just kind of going in here. I'm working the white gel pen to see if it shows up. I'm just experimenting here. I don't know how well it shows up here. But maybe just adding some line work with the gel pen. Seeing where this wants to take me here. I think I'm just going to add some words here. Just to help me along here. So just adding some inspirational kind of affirmations. Again, don't have to mean anything to anyone else but you. Right. And let's just see, let's test it out here. Look at that, that's beautiful. I'm actually gonna go back and add some more color. I'm gonna put the orange back on my palette here. A little bit of the turquoise. Ooh, that was too much. I only needed a little bit. And I'm gonna get a brush again and just add some elements of, I'm going to use some of this gesso to fill in, help lighten. Just kind of filling in some of the leaves with color as well. Just feeling like it needs some more color here. Look at that. Just kind of in a relaxed mode here, just enjoying the creation of my cover for my journal, which is pretty amazing. I'm really enjoying this process here. I like the colors that I chose for my cover here. Actually really speaking to me. Some of the painted leaves. And I definitely want to do one more thing. I'm just going to take my finger and just kind of smudge, just to soften up those areas where the collage is kind of showing up here. Like right here, it's just kind of bothering me. And right up here, just kind of smudge some gesso in those areas as well. Maybe even bringing back some of the color from the background as well. All right, so I'm gonna let this dry. Let me see. I'm just gonna kind of see what it looks like there. And make sure I have the top in the bottom here and let this fit into, and ooh, so much fun here. This is going to be my cover that I'm going to be using. So I'm going to just let this dry a little bit longer. It's still a little wet here. And then I will show you how I put my cover onto my journal. All right, so I think we're ready to add our cover to our page here. I'm going to need a glue stick, or if you have glue, make sure that's not dried out. Give myself some space here. And I'm going to get my journal here, and I'm just going to make sure I've this was the top and the bottom, and this was my cover. And I'm just going to kind of mark. I'm going to get a pencil here. I'll just use a, here we go. Here's my pencil. And I'm just going to make a mark here so I know where to fold here. And I'm going to open up here. And I'm just going to start folding right. Oops. Make sure it's tight in there. I'm going to start folding and just shaping. Let me get to this side here. Making sure it fits up in there. And just kind of shaping this around my book here. And look at that. And then I'm going to just kind of indent, just so I know, because I'm going to take the book away. Just indenting, because I need to make some cuts here so that it fits. I'm just kind of indenting in there. All right, so I'm going to fold the top here and the bottom like so. Ugh. Okay. And just kind of checking again just to make sure it fits. And then I'm going to glue, basically. Let me get my scissors as well. So I need to cut. Before I start gluing, I just want to make sure I have everything. So I have it open here, and I'm just going to put these inside here. Okay, and I've indented these just so I know right here. And then I've put this piece inside the front and back covers. And I'm just going to cut in the middle here at the bottom, just check it out so that, okay, that fits. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to do the same thing on, just make sure it's even. And just clip there. Make sure. And then fold that over. Right? And then this, sometimes it doesn't. I'm just going to clip it again just so it fits in there. Like so. Oh, that fits perfectly. And I'll just kind of clip this a bit here. So what I did was I just snipped the top and the bottom so this fits nice and snug in here. Let me close it and just make sure that everything pressed down here, that everything fits snugly. Look at that. All right, now let me clip the corners here too so that those fit nice and snugly here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, and where the corner is, right at the corner right here, I'm just going to snip. And because I want it to fit nicely. Look at that. I just snipped right in the middle there. Let me turn it around right at the corner, and I'm going to snip. I'm not snipping all the way, but I'm checking it, folding that over, just kind of wrapping it like a gift. Look at that. Look at what happens there. And let's do this on the other side here. Opening this up, taking your scissor right at the corner and kind of snip a diagonal line there. So this fits there. And then one more. And that fits there. Okay. Now I get my glue stick and we're going to start gluing. And I'm just kind of taking the glue stick, and just kind of gluing the area here. Now I can glue the whole front of it, but I'm not. Let me fold that over. I'll even glue on the board there and just kind of press down here. Let's do the same thing on the top. Fold it over and over here. Oh. And just kind of gluing that over here. Pressing down. My little collage is coming out, so I'm just going to re-glue that there. And then I'm just pressing down there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this sheet here and I'm going to fill it with glue. Like so. And then I'm going to carefully turn this page here. Told you. And I'm going to lay it on there and just press down. So now I got glue on that side too, but that's okay. I'm messy with this. So now I have like a cover here, right, that I can write on and so forth. And then I don't see all those ugly little lines there. So let's do this side. Again, just gluing. These little edges here, pressing down. Right. And then, always, whenever I play with glue, I'm always messy. Pressing down here. And then gluing this back page here. Of course, I'm always making a mess here. Put the top back on that. And then taking that page and carefully pressing it down. I'm going to have to wash my hands after this. Pressing it down onto that back page. And then let's close our book here. Just kind of pressing down and making sure everything sticks. Look at that. Ooh, look at our book here that we made here. Look at this. And now we have our journal in our book. This is a lot of fun. I'm just kind of let it dry a little bit. Maybe put it down on a heavy book so that everything kind of stays flat. And we've got our journal for our class here. Look at how much fun this is. And so definitely take the time to spend time designing your cover here. And then we're going to start adding some fun inside and some playfulness inside. But for now, I'm just going to let this kind of sit and simmer and dry for a while. You can even get a ribbon to add a little kind of those little place bookmarks as well, if you like. But I'm just going to let this sit, and then we will be ready to move forward in our class here. So now this book is going to be our guide. It's going to be our support, our guidance. It's where we are going to document our journey, document the things we're struggling with, document how we're feeling, document things that we've learned, things we don't want to forget, that we want to remember, maybe things we want to forget. This is going to be our little course diary. And I really suggest you use it and utilize it and go back in it if you need to. But this was a lot of fun. We created a really fun cover, glued it onto a really simple composition book. Now it looks like a pretty cool journal that we created, and we are ready to move on to the first lesson. Let's get started.